Hi, I'm Liz Schrum of the Wisconsin Technology Council, back with another edition of WIS Business, the show, brought to you by Grant Thornton and MG&E. On today's show, Tom Still in his commentary examines why small business in Wisconsin and beyond is keeping a wary eye on the federal health care reform debate. And Scott Vander Sanden, president of AT&T in Wisconsin, talks with us about trends that are redefining the telecom industry. I'll be right back with the WIS Business Stock Report for early December 2009.
What has made Grant Thornton one of the largest accounting organizations in the world, with resources in more than 100 countries worldwide? Is it their global capabilities, or is it their passion for how they serve their clients? Grant Thornton.
Welcome back to the Stock Report. Rising transportation spending. Officials say Wisconsin's transportation construction industry is completing one of the largest seasons in the past 20 years, and there's more to come. That's because of highway funding increases at the state and federal level. Increases expected to fuel more than 28,000 jobs next year. And falling. Home construction suppliers. Despite signs the housing market is poised for a sustained rebound, those that supply home builders are still feeling the recession. WIC Building Systems has filed notice with the state about nearly 500 potential layoffs in Dane County's Mazomaney and central Wisconsin's Marshfield. And Colby & Colby, a Wausau-based window and door manufacturer, laid off 334 employees, nearly a quarter of its workforce. Many of the layoffs are temporary, but when those jobs will return is uncertain. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
No matter what health care bill is adopted by Congress, small business owners believe they will pay more to cover their employees. They fear reform will ratchet up costs in two main ways: through expensive new coverage requirements and by forcing the nation's insured to pay more to cover the uninsured. It's not just perception. The House and Senate debate has been largely about reforming access to health care rather than controlling cost. Most health care reformers in Congress want to see the nation's 46 million uninsured protected by a safety net. Access to health care is a big problem, to be sure, but so is a system that consumes 17% of the gross national product. It forces employers to choose between hiring another worker or salting away money for the next double-digit increase in health care premiums. Here are some ideas that emphasize controlling health care costs, which also help small businesses create more jobs. Focus on wellness, disease prevention, and ways to better manage chronic illnesses such as diabetes and heart disease. Chronic illnesses account for 75% of U.S. healthcare costs. Provide incentives to hospitals and clinics in crossover markets to collaborate where possible, rather than compete over every service. Accelerate the trend towards digitizing medical records. Electronic health records can improve quality of care while reducing errors and giving medical professionals better data. Pass the Comparative Effectiveness Research Act of 2009. This bill would create a national database to quickly share information about how new or different therapies, treatments, and diagnostics work for patients. Allow small businesses more, not less, leeway in buying coverage plans that fit their employees. To say small business owners in Wisconsin are nervous about the outcome of the health care debate is like saying a football quarterback is jittery just before a 300-pound defensive end grinds him into the turf. Both know what's coming, and both can only hope to get back on their feet once it's over.
Thanks, Tom. I'm back with Scott Vander Sanden, president of AT&T in Wisconsin. Since the mid-90s, the number of wireless subscribers in the U.S. has increased 700%. Are we on our way to becoming a wireless society?
Absolutely. That transition started a number of years ago. It will continue on into the future. I don't see any way we'll ever turn back the clock. Everything we do will become mobile. Mobile broadband is already started, and it will continue to grow rapidly out into the future.
Legislation has been introduced to rewrite the 2007 cable competition bill. You told the Wisconsin Innovation Network recently that this bill is a bad idea. Tell us why.
The bill would add additional layers of regulation on top of what is a very new industry for Wisconsin and for AT&T in Wisconsin. The video bill, the first one passed, was signed into law very early in 2008. Since then, AT&T and other companies like AT&T have entered this market at tremendous expense and tremendous shareholder risk. At this point, there is no reason to add additional layers of regulation onto any of the companies in that space. It is working just fine today. Customers have more choice at better prices than they did years ago.
Thanks, Thanks, Scott, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show, produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and brought to you by Grant Thornton and MG&E. Please visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum. See you next time.